Okay, thank you very much, Andrew. And good morning, good Thursday morning in Toronto. It's probably afternoon or evening for many others. We are now broadcasting and recording the 22nd Indigenous Global Unity Summit event today. And I always start these events by acknowledging those who came before us on this land. So I would like to say a land acknowledgement. We begin today by acknowledging that we walk upon the traditional territories of Indigenous people, and we recognize their history, spirituality, culture, and stewardship of the land. We're grateful to all Indigenous groups for their commitment to protect the land and its resources, and we're committed to reconciliation, partnership, and enhanced understanding. We acknowledge as well the land we are meeting on here in the Greater Toronto Area, where I am, is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Wendat, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe peoples, and is now home to many diverse peoples. We'd also like to acknowledge the land we are on is at the meeting place of two treaties, the lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit and those of the First Nations of the Williams Treaty. We would thank them and other Indigenous peoples for sharing this land with us. In addition, we also acknowledge and recognize all of the world's Indigenous peoples as stewards of Mother Earth. So moving forward, I will start the presentation now. Just give me a second to share the screen. So here. So I would like to, of course, oops, this is not where we're supposed to start. I don't know why it started there. Sorry, a little bit slow. Trying to go to the first page, which is where I had wanted to start the presentation. There we go. So I'd like to give first, I guess, recognition of our supporters, in particular EDFU Foundation. But as you will also see in the logo shown here, you will see the logos of the Maui Aloha Project, the 5 Points Youth Foundation, the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, Andrew Networks, Future Lift Foundation, the Global Women's Development Network, the Global Peace Let's Talk, Community Development Foundation, the African International Education Federation, and many more. So because we are a network, as we say, a network of networks, we like to make sure that we acknowledge our sponsors, in particular the EDFU Foundation, as the primary sponsor supporting the Global Unity Network Initiative through May 26, 2022. And although it sponsors this platform, it is actually Andrew Networks that donates the actual hosting and promotional support services that we are using today. But EDFU actually supports transforming our world through sustainable development, Agenda 2030, and has also partnered with several individuals, organizations, companies, and tribes around the world in order to help the world achieve equality and to heal. Specifically, the activities of EDFU Foundation are to help organizations improve their performance and grow by solving problems and finding new and better ways of doing things through the analysis of existing organizational structures, and the development of innovative and efficient plans for improvement. I will put this link to my chat. Up we go again. I thought I had it here, but I just will save this link to the EDCO Foundation in the chat, which looks like I also need to put on this slide. So Andrew Networks as well is a brand and domain name owned by Parks TC Export Trading Company, comprising social media channels, Facebook pages, TRN TV International News, Universal Citizens Media Networks, Conversations with Andrew Williams Jr., the AJ Action Team, and Encounter Think Tank Group. And so once again, I will put this link to Andrew Networks in the chat. So Andrew, with us here today, also founded the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, Advocates, and Activists, and registered the domain name for the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board on September 21st, 2019, with a focus on globalizing the Sustainable Development Goals during this decade of action and delivery on the SDGs, resulting from the appointment of regional representatives, beginning with Janice da Silva for Cabo Verdes, ECOWAS, and Lusophone, the Portuguese-speaking countries. Andrew later appointed other representatives, including myself, for Canada, Francophone and Commonwealth nations and countries, along with Turtle Island, which was added earlier this year, and published that on January 1st, 2020. So I will provide a link once again in the chat for the Goodwill Ambassador Network. So as we move forward, just to let you know, I am Lloyd Helferty, the Chief Ecosystem Director, or CED, and Program Development Director, Sustainable Society Consultant for Energyme University. I am here in Canada, although Energyme is in New York. So I'm also with an organization. I am co-founder and administrator of the We Energyme Global Cooperation Turtle Island International Civil Society organization that is seeking to undertake what we call life value peace education in the context of life learning gardens. So again, I will put this link that you see on this page into the chat. And you will see here, of course, I mentioned earlier, I am a Goodwill Ambassador for the 5 Points Youth Foundation in Los Angeles, with a portfolio that covers Canada, La Francophonie, the Commonwealth of Nations, and Turtle Island communities. So as a member of the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors and Activists, we are seeking to empower our communities to engage with royal, Indigenous, and tribal leadership, as well as interfaith business and neighborhood collaboratives to leave no one behind. So I'll put my own contact information in the chat here as well. So the Global Unity Business Group, I am co-founder, came together as a coalition of small businesses in order to establish, manage, and grow what we call a global unity network. The Global Unity Business Group is a humanitarian enterprise and global sustainable and regenerative development corporation supporting and promoting the local delivery of open source regenerative climate smart infrastructure set up as life learning gardens, along with a hybrid virtual learning platform we call the VCN, or the Interchange for Peace. The Global Unity Business Group was created in order to formalize a process of localization of the global goals, starting with the SDGs, being done by the establishment of a Global Unity Network, which so far includes a Unity Gardens Network, a Unity Learning Network, along with a Unity Health Network, an Indigenous Global Unity Network, and many other dedicated Unity networks. All are important components of our network of networks that comprise the entirety of the Global Unity Network, which was really created to showcase global cooperation for the implementation of local regenerative solutions for achieving the global goals, starting, of course, with the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs. So our goal is to help uplift the traditionally marginalized communities that are mostly being left behind, because the existing economic paradigm is very much focused on making money and extracting wealth from those who are already wealthy, and therefore the majority of people on Earth are mostly being ignored by our existing highly competitive economy. So our focus is thus on the billions of people who exist or subsist on the economic sidelines, where we intend to start our work by delivering solutions for people and communities in some of the least developed countries and economies that are the most food insecure, like Sierra Leone and Zambia and Nepal and Bangladesh. So the Global Unity Network, a virtual collaborative network hybrid learning model, will be delivered through both the Unity Gardens for hands-on experiential practical learning, as well as through a digital VCN that essentially bundles all of the various functions of individual websites into a single site or a collaborative portal that allows for all of the digital virtual learning to be delivered alongside at the place where e-commerce can also take place, i.e. an all-in-one platform for trade, for commerce, and for learning bundled into a single platform. So the VCN uses what's called a digital collaborator engine that's intended to turbocharge the networking, exchange, trade, and education delivery capabilities of and for the members of the network, also called a PXN, or partner ecosystem. So the digital collaboration technology will help organizations in 6 areas of digital transformation: digital leadership, digital strategy, customer intimacy, business service design, agile transformation, and health check analysis for their organizations. So we believe that this platform can help every organization become an agile organization for the 21st century, helping them to move beyond the current health pandemic. So these transformational networking tools are being designed to change the trajectory of performance and organizational health. And one other crucial value-adding building element is the capabilities, or the hard and soft skills that are needed to help organizations reach and sustain their full potential. So our VCN is intended to be a stepping stone toward this new vision of the internet called the metaverse, which of course has got a lot of coverage recently with the renaming of Facebook to the new corporate name, Meta, which refers to the metaverse content. So I will put a link in here to the Wikipedia page about metaverse. So please also note that our business group is managing a global Unity network geographically by helping to create localized country, regional, and continental Unity network, local business development networks, which serve to manage the local and community networks. So our first continental Unity network development network is now UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. So the regional and continental Unity network organizations will organize themselves according to the concept and principles of what's called sociocracy. And I will put in a link to that as well, so people can understand what that is. So we will assist communities in the establishment of, so the continental networks assist in the establishment of local and regional Unity network, local community engagement teams called INBCs, or Interfaith Neighborhood and Business Collaboratives. But the primary purpose of both the business and the network is to promote the ad hoc International Advisory Board Goodwill Ambassador process of localization of the global goals, specifically by promoting processes that can help local communities establish partnerships as per SDG 17 that will support local humanitarian entrepreneurs who are dedicated to implementing the various local regenerative, climate smart, community-based enterprise solutions for achieving the global goals. So back to the Unity Network, the Global Unity Network. Our goal is to support, uplift through the delivery of learning programs, practical hands-on education and training, and promote all of the youth and female and feminist humanitarian entrepreneurs around the world who either have or wish to implement replicable replicable, regenerative solutions for achieving global goals, starting with the Sustainable Development Goals. So we focus on regenerative solutions that can be localized one community at a time, starting in the least developed communities and economies by working with people who have been most forgotten and marginalized with the intention of leaving no one behind. Our philosophy is that machines are not the economy. People doing things is what makes an economy what it is. And so lifting people from poverty, or better yet, empowering them to lift themselves from poverty, will have automatically injected new life into what we call the economy. So the goal of the Global Unity Network is therefore uplifting the bottom billions. And our ultimate goal really is teaching people how to feed themselves the climate smart way, thinking of the old saying, give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach a man to fish, and feed him for a lifetime. The Global Unity Network is all about teaching, especially women and youth, to fish, so they no longer need to go begging to be fed the next day when they're hungry again and possibly can't afford to buy that next fish, because that next fish will very likely not be given to them, but will instead need to be earned, which is essentially a subtle form of debt slavery through a system that also ensures enclosure of the commons through legal processes like land title and intellectual property rights or patents. So that's why we also promote and demonstrate open source solutions, as in open source regenerative climate smart food growing infrastructure set up as Unity Garden classrooms at and with schools, universities, colleges, high schools. So our Unity programs, we're supporting and work in partnership with the Unity programs of the local Unity Network organizations that have been established and continue to be established around the world that deliver various projects and campaigns and events, such as the Tree of Peace and Reconciliation tree planting ceremonies, the Sunlight Spectacle virtual edutainment shows, along with these Indigenous Global Unity Summit events, which will take place until Africa Day next year, 2022, as well as in the future coordinated international global fun festivals. And we're also working in support of the expansion of the Global Women's Development Network as well. So with our Life Learning Gardens, we are supporting and promoting local delivery of this open source regenerative climate smart infrastructure, again, set up as Life Learning Gardens, designed for the delivery of hands-on practical learning programs supporting all manner of what we call life value peace education. So the gardens themselves, called CSV Gardens, Victory Forest, Climate Smart Kitchens, Spark Learning Centers, or what we call Climate Smart Educational Training Centers, and in future, again, Wheel of Life farms and farm schools. So our projects include sacred site watershed mapping, what we call the CTP program, or Collaborative Tree Planting Initiative for twinning communities, along with collaboration for the development of a system of payments for ecosystem services, using digital tokens of exchange for certified climate smart products that help to permanently sequester carbon, that are made by humanitarian organizations that are helping to implement the global goals for achieving these goals, starting with the SDGs. And some of our other key campaigns include a Dream Boards in Every Community campaign to establish local community dream boards, where we help to mobilize the youth and help turn their dreams into reality, along with what we call a tea diplomacy initiative that connects local farmers, growers, and entrepreneurs across geographies and among members of communities that may not otherwise ever get a chance to talk to each other and get to know each other as people. So the idea is to sit down, even if only virtually, have tea, relax, and discuss local solutions to global problems like food security, hunger, climate change, the environment, peace, security, as well as being for people in each of our own local communities. The people who are participating would also discuss what kinds of teas they like to drink, what unique teas they grow in each of their own local communities or region, and how important these teas are to their own local people cultures. So recently as well, I mentioned UnityNet Africa. So on Wednesday, October 13th of this year, members of the Global Unity Network had a meeting to formally create the UnityNet Africa Secretariat for all UnityNet chapters in Africa that either exist or will be established on the continent. The purpose and structure of the organization was discussed, and the initial founding board was decided on. But a week later, on October 20th, another meeting was held with even more members of the Africa group in attendance. Following that meeting, a vote was held, and the name of the Africa group was changed to UnityNet Africa and Diaspora. At first, Zambia was to become the Continental Secretariat, where the non-governmental organization would have been established and registered. Francis Chisala from Zambia was also going to be leading a program to create a platform for people of African descent with disabilities. However, just yesterday, a final vote was concluded among members of the UnityNet Africa and Diaspora group, and the initial board of directors for the African Continental Unity Network, African Diaspora, was decided. And those members are listed on this slide. You can see there are now 13 members. The new board of directors will now need to confirm the originally nominated official advisory board that includes Chepi Motlong from South Africa, Peter Ongera from Kenya, Andrew Williams Jr., chairperson of the AHIABGA in USA, Nancy Bamoy from Sierra Leone, and Sylvia Kircha Bangura, who is also from Sierra Leone. My hope is that the new board will also nominate and confirm Samson Oloch, the country chairperson of Tuketana EV Kenya, who helped to start the original UnityNet Africa group discussion in the first place back on September 23rd, 2021, together potentially with Francis Chisala from UnityNet Zambia, who first proposed to create the Secretariat of UnityNet Africa in Zambia for the reason that the UN ECOSOC office is also in Zambia. And Carlos from UnityNet Sierra Leone, which is one of the oldest UnityNet chapters, now also with 10 trees of peace and reconciliation already planted in their communities across the country as a precursor for the creation of the local INBCs, or the Interfaith Neighborhood and Business Collaboratives, and the establishment of the Unity Garden infrastructure in classrooms. And I'd also like to see Ambassador Shepi from South Africa. We're hopeful that the UnityNet country chapter will be established soon. You may notice that the new board of directors of UnityNet Africa Diaspora was put together in a way as to try and represent the 6 regions of Africa, and also, of course, as per SDG 5, gender equality, where the selection process made an attempt to achieve gender balance of the board of directors for the African Unity Network by ensuring that about half of the board members and leaders were women. So this team will now need to work in cooperation with others in the Global Unity Network in order to identify and create a model for the development of their own continental and regional network of networks of the Global Unity Network by working with the grassroots people in the country chapters, so that we can try to replicate this process of creating country chapters across all, or Unity Network chapters across all 54 African nations, also by liaising with, for instance, the African Union. But the African success is not just for Africa, but will also be for other continents and countries as well. Worldwide, where we'll focus our efforts, of course, on the least developed countries and communities and economies, what I like to now call the LDCCEs, and those communities that are being furthest left behind as per the concept of LNOB, leave no one behind. So again, I will put those concepts of leave no one behind LNOB a couple of weeks in the chat so people can do their own research to understand what that is. So we are now also having discussions as well among the leadership of the Global Unity Business Operations here in the Greater Toronto area on how we can link the North American, Turtle Island, and African agendas across time and space, and link our programs together in a way that makes sense for all of us. I highly appreciated the involvement of Carlos from the Global Unity Secretariat and leadership team during these discussions with the African team. Carlos, of course, has a home in Sierra Leone, and the Global Secretariat has offices as well in Canada, with strong support from Kenya and the United States of America as well. I'd like for everyone on this call today to also consider joining one of or more of our groups that are also critical to the Global Unity Network, including the Global Unity Network social media discussions that have been created by the Global Unity Business Group, which is of course a humanitarian enterprise and global sustainable and regenerative development corporation, supporting and promoting the local delivery of open source regenerative climate smart infrastructure set up as life learning gardens or Unity gardens. So again, I will put in some of our social media groups into the chat. I'd also like people to please also consider joining our Global Unity Gardens network discussion group on WhatsApp, which I will again put into the chat, as well as what we call the Regenerative Living, Learning, and Lifestyle Network. We have a public group so far, and as well as the Unity Learning Network. We have a Facebook group, as well as a professional organization for people who are educators. So as well, we have a health network, which is very important to our network. And that will be a critical component moving forward, along with a Unity Eco Village network as well. So finally, in summary, the humanitarian entrepreneurship learning programs that we're supporting are very much focused on engaging youth, educators, and decision makers in learning programs and community engagement processes, with a strong emphasis on women and girls as leaders in their communities and also of their own homes and families, as per SDG 5, gender equality, with the goal of our business and the network to eventually establish what we call a 21st century economy of compassion and cooperation, and the recognition of life value as being fundamentally more important than money value, where money is just a fictional construct created by humans that helps us to make decisions about the most economic pathway to achieving certain outcomes, which are based on the goals that we individually and collectively set for ourselves as human beings. Where the Global Unity Network that we're establishing is a network that includes platforms for delivering education, training, awareness raising, open idea, and cultural exchange programs managed by the Global Unity Business Group. The virtual collaborative network that we're establishing is networked through social media and internet enabled through an international Unity Gardens network, which is in turn supported by the Unity Learning Network of educators who understand the importance of delivering programs of life value peace education in each of our local communities. So in the final slide, this is just to show some sustainability guidelines. I leave this slide up on the screen just for a few moments to let people read this. The guidelines were provided to us by Mike Nickerson of the 7th Generation Initiative Sustainability Project and author of Life, Money, and Illusion, Living on Earth as If We Wanted to Stay. Again, I put a few links there. Finally, as we finish off our day here, we'll get back into a discussion and we'll have our main presentation take place now. But I would like to recognize our guests, starting with the women, and like everyone to please put their contact information into the chat window so that others on the call can have your contact info, especially if you're new to the IGU Summit and the Global Unity Network today. So we will now start our presentation, which is what we are here today to learn what other members of our network are doing as well. So our guest today is, hold on, just a little bit of slow computer here. Wow, okay. Sorry about that. My computer is a little bit slow right now. So Dr. Ahmed Hafiz from Pakistan. I will actually let him introduce himself. I can just say he's assistant manager of the SDI team at the University of Management Technology. Um, his presentation today is about Sustainable Development Initiative, SDI UMT, especially as it is related to women empowerment. So I will again put in the SDI UMT website and social media into the chat as we move forward. But I will allow Dr. Hafiz to start his presentation.
Thank you so much, Lolite. Thank you, and thank you for the brief introduction of the summit and the network of the organizations. You are doing such great work. And while going to your presentation, I just saw that a great initiative has been taken by your organization or the network. And our university is also focusing how our students can engage and be in part, play their role in the development of our society, plus as well play their role in the development of different communities around the globe. So it will be a kind of a good opportunity if, let me present what Sustainable Development Initiative at University of Management Technology Lahore is doing, and how we can collaborate, specifically the African region you talked about, and how our students can kind of do some volunteer work or kind of do some activities with your organization for the betterment or for something or volunteering for that community as well. So thank you for the opportunity. It's an honor to be here. And just let me brief myself. My name is Ahmed Hafiz, if not. I have been affiliated with development sector of Pakistan since 11 years. I have worked with numerous international organizations working in development sector like Oxfam GB, UNDP, World Bank, different now it's UK8. Plus, I have done some development projects within our national level as well. I have done some welfare projects for the prison welfare, so the prisoners in Pakistan, specifically in the health sector. Uh, then I joined the academia with the vision that how we can inculcate the sense of social responsibility in our youth or in our the future leaders. So with this vision, Sustainable Development Initiative at University of Management Technology started its working to kind of make future empathetic leaders, which can not only play their role in the economic development of the country, but also play their role in the social development. They give back to the society. They belong to. They give back to the community in which they belong to. So, if you can give me the rights, I can share the presentation. I can share my screen.
Go right ahead.
Right. Can you see my screen, please?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so my presentation is kind of will be briefing on this, that what is the mission and vision behind Sustainable Development Initiative, and
Yes,
what are.
Please take your time. We have a global audience, so speak clearly so our transcript can also make sure they get the correct interpretation. So take your time, don't rush.
Am I not audible?
Yes, yeah. I'm just saying, slow down, take your time, don't rush.
Right. So my presentation will be focusing on the vision and mission of our department at University of Management Technology, what our students have done so far, what we have achieved, why we made it mandatory for all undergraduate programs to serve specific hours in community service, what are the benefits to benefits to the students, and what are the benefits for our partner organization, and what are the benefits of the university, what university is gaining from kind of introducing these projects or initiatives. So and definitely briefly I will tell you about what our future plans are. So the vision behind Sustainable Development Initiative was to transform positive energies of our students for volunteering and community service to build socially responsible, empathetic future leaders. And how we going to achieve that? That was to build a collaborative network with various community development organizations uh, for student engagement in community development projects to make them socially responsible citizens of the society. So the main focus we SDI was putting on that it was kind of assuming its responsibility and providing the students the opportunity that how they can give back to the community, how they can work for the betterment of the society, and play their role in being a better human being and a responsible citizen. These are the achievements for of our volunteers. Let me just share this, that it is the achievements of past 2 years activities. So we signed MOUs. The agenda was presented to academic council that a specific number of hours should be included in all the undergraduate programs offered at our university, and it should be mandatory for every undergrad to go and serve these specific hours with any community development organization, so that our student can see what development or kind of problems community is facing, how they are having kind of have the rights, like basic right to our education, how many of the living in our society still don't have these kind of facilities available. So we started collaborating under the Sustainable Development Goal number 17, Partnership of the Goals. And so far we have signed 60 plus partner MOUs with development organizations working in Pakistan, plus some of the international organizations. One of the organization that is also part of your network as well, it's Community Development Organization, head by Mariam Khan. So 3 schools included these 1 credit hour or equivalent to 80 contact hours in their undergraduate program roadmap. School of Business Management, School of Science and Technologies, and Aviation Management. They're all undergraduate students are serving 80 hours in community service with our partner organization. So in the last 2 years, we engaged 1,000 students with our 60 plus development organizations, and our students went there and they served 100,000 hours in community service. We arrange and organize 100 plus sessions and seminars with these organizations as well, to give our students and the UMT family, our family, University of Management Technologies, faculty, staff, and students, so that they can also learn and kind of play their role and volunteer with us, or have some kind of initiative to join. So we kind of arrange 100 plus sessions with these organizations, and all the head of these organizations were invited. They kind of took the sessions and they brief about what their organization is doing, in what specific SDGs they are focusing, and how faculty, staff, or students can be a part of their initiative. Our students also run some clothes donation drive in the winter season, and they have donated 600 plus warm clothes to the needy of our society. Plus, we initiated under the Green Pakistan initiative, we initiated a plantation drive, and our student planted 10,000 trees, and there was no funding involved. All the plants or the seeds or whatever, that was all raised by our volunteers. They went into the field and they planted all these trees by themselves. So it's a huge achievement by any volunteer or kind of volunteering students by any academic institute in Pakistan. Plus, we have also what you can say that it's a huge achievement for us as well, that we were the first and smoke drug and smoke free campus in South Asia. And we have done a lot to do that. Our campus is smoke-free zone. Our parking area, we have worked a lot. We put so many signs. We have trainings for the staff and the faculty as well, for the students as well. And there was under the Colombo plan, Drug Advisory Training Hub and Yorkfen, they kind of collaborated with us on this initiative, and they were numerous audit work done of this activity, and after that we were given the certificate with first drug and smoke free campus in South Asia. Plus we have a collaboration with Red Crescent Society of Pakistan. Again, it's an international organization, and they are kind of training our students for the first aid and CPR and disaster management if some God forbid if something happens, so that our students are kind of ready to play and work and kind of handle any situation. Plus our students went into with an organization named Daman. They have non-formal schools in Pakistan, specifically 200 plus schools in Lahore where we're residing, and our student went there and they teach their students in the non-formal schools that with non-conventional ways. Like there was these students, yet the children, they were never been into school, they were never enrolled in any school. So our student went into the community and convinced their parents that how important education is, and this organization is providing free of cost education. So you should send your children so that they can learn and write or be educated and make good out of their goods, make good something out of their life. So they went into the community. They also worked with the teachers and planned some non-conventional activities. Plus, they initiated a project. They gave the proposal that every school should kind of install an LED and use the internet, which is available to kind of enhance the student learning experience. So that proposal was so impressive that the management of Daman, they asked our students to implement these project, the smart classroom project in all of their non-formal schools. And our student went there and they initiated this thing. They have raised fund for that activity as well. And 200 plus schools are now smart classrooms, have smart classrooms in them. So this is also a huge achievement for our volunteers. Plus, we are also have sessions and a lot of sessions for women empowerment. There are many organizations working in this field, not to that level what international community is doing, but there are some activities done, and we are also collaborating with them, and we are planning to engage more organizations and have different sessions and campaigns to raise awareness about equality and women empowerment as well. So these are some pictures, the MOUs we signed. These are some of our partners. These are very known, renowned names, community development organizations working in Pakistan. These are some of our partners. This is the event in which it was awarded the certificate as a drug and smoke-free campus, the first ever drug and smoke-free campus in South Asia. So when I was talking about the smart classroom concept, this is the school in which our students went there and they teach their students, they work with the teachers there. You can see with the pictures that how these schools were operating. And now these all have smart classrooms in it. So our 1,000 plus students serve 100,000 hours in community service, and two of the organization in which more kind of the huge number of students went to the Community Development Foundation run by Mariam Khan. 150 students were engaged, recently were engaged with Mariam, in which they worked for IGU as well. And they also work for Women Development Global Network, and they work for the woman, I guess, the conference for women empowerment, I guess it's happening in 2012. And they work for that conference. Plus, with this Daman Education Development Foundation, which is running non-formal schools. So 300 plus students serve with this Daman organization in different batches in 2 years span of time, 2 years span of time. These are the plantation drives, some of the glimpses of the plantation drives. 10,000 trees were planted with by our students in the nearby locality of our university. These are the coordination drives. These are some glimpses from first aid trainings we organized with Red Crescent Society of Pakistan. This session is the women empowerment. Again, we are focusing very much because it's very common in the youth now, the drug abuse and drug use, and we are very concerned about it as an individual as well as an education institute as well. So we are kind of arranging some sessions and seminars on provide awareness and how they can students, youngsters, they can kind of keep away from these activities, whether it's been influenced to in the hostels they are living or by the peers, but there is opportunity for them that they can say no, and it can only be achieved by raising awareness. So we are arranging sessions on health and well-being, specifically for the drug awareness, and why we made it mandatory in our undergrads to go and serve 80 hours. So these are the 3 schools I talked about. These 3 programs are currently engaging their undergrad students. At UMT, we have 17 different schools with 150 plus degree programs. So it has been approved by the academic council, and soon we're hoping that soon that all schools will adopt this, and they will include that 1 credit hour in all undergrad programs. So these are the main reasons we can focus that. That is the main reasons we included and made it mandatory for every undergrad to go and serve in community service. Definitely, it's how the organization or the university in building various research platforms and launch new degree programs in relevance to sustainable development as sustainable development goals, community service, social services, many different degree programs. Definitely collaboration with national and international universities. Back in 2016, 15 students from Northeastern Illinois University came to Pakistan. There's social work degree students. They came to Pakistan and they visited all the field operations are the partner organizations are doing. They volunteer there with them. They did some research on what development challenges Pakistan are facing. What are the gaps the government has kind of implemented the SDGs agenda, but execution is not as per the plan. So they also did some case studies, they recorded new interviews, then all the activities were published in their as a research paper in their university, in our university as well. So it's definitely a major trend in global academic context. Every university, name it, international university, or universities or local universities, the major trend. Now, the Times Higher Education ranking, the very, sorry for that, Times Higher Education ranking is rating university as per they're working towards the sustainable development goals. So towards the sustainable development goals. Same goes for UI Green Matrix. It's in University of Indonesia's initiative that is the rating university towards their kind of green environment and what they have done so far for environment preservation. So it's a global, it's a major trend in global context. Again, national and international accreditations are kind of focusing more on SDGs as the SDGs 2030 agenda is coming, many organizations are focusing on how they can play their role, and they have launched many CSR initiatives. So SDG is the main thing. It's in the whether you take it's in development sector, education sector, or industry. SDG is the main core focus of these all industry sectors. So helping achieving academic and educational excellence, definitely when a student go and volunteer, it's a two-way street, it's a two-way learning. It's the student is not only playing its role to be an active member of the society, or playing a little bit role for the betterment of the society, or doing some community service, but he's also gaining something out of it. He's gaining the experience out of it. He's polishing his leadership skills. He's polishing his leadership skills. They are also enhancing their skills of how to be a team player, how to resolve conflict, how to communicate better. So it's a two-way process. They are also learning life skills, that polishing their leadership skill, life skill, communication skill. It's the main skills required in kind of if you're an entrepreneur, you need these skills. You're looking for a better job. HR rates you on these skills, and these skills are developed while you are going and studying or volunteering in the community. So definitely it's also helped the institute making a positive impact in the society. Definitely it's kind of make you a responsible institute, that you are paying to the community in which you are working. So it's also a part that international and national accreditations are also focusing how an academic institute is doing for its community at local, regional, national, international level. So these are some universities we kind of inspired us to start our sustainable development initiative. We studied the community service or sustainable development initiative these universities are doing, and we drive many activities from these, and we are trying to collaborate with these universities as well for in future as well for our sustainable development initiative. So these are some benefits of the students, that what students are getting out of engaging in community service. So definitely feel for others. They are living in a society in which they belong to, and they have responsibility towards it. So going in and facing these problems and kind of working for the solution is definitely enhance their skill, and they feel for others. They are making a positive impact in the society. Compassion, empathy is developed there. They are in somehow in the it's a small step, but they are serving or playing a little bit a role in service to the nation. Plus they are becoming an active member of the society, and deep understanding of government policies, that how government of our government government of Pakistan is doing to achieve SDGs 2030 agenda, and what are the gap analysis, and how development sector and government sector can work together to minimize these gaps. And there is a bridge when sustainable development goals were introduced to the world. Pakistan was one of the countries which included the agenda in its national policy. But unfortunately, the role of academia was ignored entirely. No academic research platform was utilized by our government to do research on SDGs and how they can play a better role in achieving these sustainable development goals. Plus, academia have research platforms, researchers are there, qualified researchers are there, plus a huge number of volunteers are there. So you can use both in achieving and playing your role for the development of your country. But unfortunately, it was ignored entirely. There is no think tank existing in our country, academic think tank, which is working on policies, making policy advice, or kind of do gap analysis that why are so-called government initiatives or development initiatives have not worked so far, why poverty is there, why hunger is still there. So all is doing is a patchwork. So we need a platform, and as EI is trying to bridge this gap, it's trying to introduce this platform to all the stakeholders. We are also launching a think tank named Innovation Capital Development Forum under SDI as well, with the slogan of social change with social impact. And the main core of this, the main focus of this think tank, will be to get all stakeholders on board, that whether it's government, whether it's academia, whether it's industry, CSR organization, development organizations, we will call all the leaders of these specific industries. We will get them on the table, and we will discuss on in SGD that what are the gaps, why government is failing, why the development sector is not being able to do what is expected, and how the working and impact, if they collaborate, can be increased. Uh, Definitely we'll be making policy advice, we'll be having policy table discussion. And again, I would also like your platform to be part of that initiative as well. So it's in future, let me go to the future plans. These are our future plans that we want to engage all undergraduate students in community surveys, plant 1 million trees, as climate change is definitely it's a real thing, and we are going through it right now. We are facing major climate problems facing right now, even that we are not part of it, but many Pakistan and India, they are not part of those countries which is kind of emitting these carbon into the atmosphere, but we are facing these challenges. So we are also trying that we plant trees and have some other arrangements as well to conserve environment. It's Ramadan, as it's Muslims observe fast in a specific month, which is called Ramadan, and a lot of charity work is done in that month as well. So we are planning that in every Ramadan we will distribute 100 ration packs to the needy in our society. It's a very small number, but we haven't done it so far. It's a plan, and let's see if we set the target that we distribute 100 ration packs, and we are kind of planning to increase the number as well. We are facing many water problem. Water pollution is also here, and many communities, specifically in our Saint province, they don't have clean water there. They don't have the facility there to clean water. So we have planned to install water filtration plants in these communities. Definitely, it will be a collaborative effort. As an academic institute, we are a not-profit academic institute. We are working under a trust, that is an ILM Trust, Institute of Leadership Management Trust. So UMT is a project of our trust. It's a not-for-profit institute. So definitely we will achieve these activities or targets in collaboration with other organizations. So we are planning to collaborate with 100 NGOs and INGOs, international platforms as well. And definitely donate warm clothes. We donated 600 plus to the 600 plus people. Now we are targeting to donate at least 2 to 10,000 people of which require these warm clothes. So as poverty is rising, inflation is rising, so there are many problems our community is facing. So we're just trying to be an active member as an academic institute. We have planned these activities. We will initiate some of these activities, and as per our collaboration, we will initiate others as well. So definitely, it will be an honor for us if your network collaborate with us on definitely on Innovation Capital Development Forum. I will really like you all to be a part of that think tank. and if you can collaborate with us on other Our Future plans, so it will be a huge honor for us as well. So thank you. This is all from my side. I will share this contact details in the chat box. Plus, I will share the my website, UMT's Sustainable Development's website link as well. So you can go through our website and see in detail what our SDI initiative is doing so far. So thank you so much. That's all from my side.
Well, Hafiz, thank you so very much. Let me just briefly take a step backwards. Lloyd mentioned earlier that the activities happening now on the African continent, we're dealing with 6 regions. However, there are only 5 regions right now on the African continent: North, South, East, West, and Central. In 2012, the African Union contemplated creating a 6th region for what's called the diaspora, those people that are born outside the continent. They will next February move to follow up that conversation. It was never determined. But
Right.
in what they call the Agenda 2063, this was founded also back in 2012, alongside the work that the countries of Africa did, called the Common African Position on the post-2015 Millennium Development Goals. That contributed a great deal to what we now know as the Sustainable Development Goals. But there were also over 3 million surveys done called The World We Want, where there was input from people around the world to accomplish these objectives. I have to give kudos to your own country and those others in Asia, because it's your region that was closest to achieving the Millennium Development Goals. So we do have a lot to learn and appreciate from what you bring to the table. In the chat, I put a link to the Ed Food Foundation. If you'll please click on that link, you'll find that there is also a button there for partnership request. So if you be so kind as to put together a request from your university to the Ed Food Foundation for each one of the projects separately, that way the board can evaluate to see which ones we may be able to work with you to move forward.
Right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the kind words and the encouragement. And definitely, I will contact these and look into the details and will contact these the link you have shared. So thank you for the kind words and thank you.
Yeah. Also, for excuse me, Lloyd, just a moment. I have 2 more things. Also in the chat, there's a link to what's called the PRME.org. That's the Principles for Responsible Management Education by the United Nations Global Compact. So while your country may not be focused on these issues, your university could be the first one to take the initiative to perhaps evaluate this program to see if it's something that's aligned with you. And then your university could be the ones to recruit other universities throughout Pakistan so that you can together deliver grassroots solutions. Also in the chat, I put my own contact for 5 Points Youth Foundation. We joined the United Nations Global Compact in 2014. We launched a 5-year campaign called Caring for Climate. Lloyd was one of the first of our Goodwill ambassadors. We recruited over 100 at that time between September 21st, which was International Day of Peace, and December 31st to raise awareness about the United Nations Global Compact. We were somewhat successful. We had over 55,000 unique hits on our social media campaign. But in September 21st of 2019, as Lloyd mentioned, we launched what's called the Ad Hoc International Advisory Board of Goodwill Ambassadors, of which Stephanie and others here are on that team. The intent was to work with the private sector, because no matter what the governments are doing, at the end of the day, there are corporations that have a larger annual income than entire countries do. So it's up to us as a grassroots private sector to work with academia and the civil society and the private sector to influence the decisions that our governments are making. So many times, unfortunately, private sector income has a lot to do with the decisions governments make. But with that, I'll put myself on mute and thank you so very much. And Lloyd, I'll turn it back over to you.
Thank you very much, Andrew. And I'd also like to follow up, of course, with what Ahmed has presented to us today, and say that on our call today is Stephanie Schuller, who is actually the leader of our learning network. So we have a number of, we call ourselves a network of networks. So we have a what we call a Unity Learning Network. Stephanie on the call today is managing that network. And so we are looking at creating partnerships with academic institutions, in particular universities, colleges, and other school boards, for instance, eventually, but starting with the universities. We'd love to be able to establish a partnership with your university, possibly as sort of the anchor for perhaps all of South Asia. So we just created this continental network for Africa. So I think the next stage will be to create a South Asian network that includes all the countries of South Asia moving forward. And we'd like to help your university as an anchor for South Asia, establish a network across Asia, of course, in India and in other parts. In Nepal, we have connections in Nepal and Bangladesh, and different networks that we can actually also establish there, but also to anchor them into this global network through the virtual collaborative network, this exchange platform. With, for instance, and I noticed the University of Waterloo right here in Ontario. It's about probably less than an hour's drive from where I am located as well. We'd like to create a partnership with the University of Toronto in particular, because University of Toronto is also connected with what's called the University Health Network, and all of the hospitals in Toronto, and they are the leaders in health, especially for Canada. And they've established their own university network and university health network. So the University Health Network and Unity Network, or Unity Health Network, can start collaborating with universities around the world, especially also in Africa, but even across Canada. So those two key institutions, I think University of Toronto, which Stephanie is also working with, as well as the University of Waterloo, which houses I believe the Sustainability Institute there for Canada. So these networks can be established, I think, across South Asia, across Africa, and across.
Lloyd, what I'd ask you to do is put that in a memo and get it out so that Hafiz can reply it. But we do have over a dozen guests now, so perhaps we could do their guest introduction before we move towards close.
Yeah. So actually, I'd like to maybe just give 5 minutes or less, 3 minutes perhaps, for each person, but start with Stephanie, because she has been on the call with us since the beginning, and she's one of the few ladies on the call besides, I think, Jane.
Ball's in your court.
Well, thank you very much, Lloyd. Thank you, Andrew. And thank you, Ahmed, for your presentation. As Lloyd said, my name is Stephanie Schuller. I'm in Toronto, Canada right now, and I'm at the University of Toronto, OISE, the Ontario Institute for Studies in Education. And I agree with you that the universities should be having a major hand in the Sustainable Development Goals and in leading our societies in addressing the climate crisis and climate smart practices. You know, the University of Toronto, for instance, is like the population of a small city, you know, with staff and with students. There's 30,000, 50,000, and that's just one campus. So the universities could have big influence. And University of Toronto, I do see them starting some initiatives here, which is great. But we have to really do this more en masse. And I look forward to talking with you. More about myself. I said I am a social entrepreneur, and I'm in the final year of my doctoral studies at the University of Toronto, OISE, and my focus, the focus of my research is on holistic education and social emotional well-being, so very much aligned. I've spent a lifetime working with children, youth, women, and intergenerational communities in spaces outside of the classroom as well, like youth groups, camps, community centers, with abled and differently abled communities. And that led me to being a learning and community design consultant in Toronto, Canada. My degree in play led me to the co-creation of the Maui Aloha Project Eco-Village Initiative that are inclusive and intergenerational communities that value holistic well-being of each other and the planet. We aim to transform through thriving growth-based design rather than the current deficit model, celebrating multiliteracies, honoring of all of our identities, our Indigenous and cultural wisdoms, and stewarding the earth and prioritizing sustainable and regenerative food, housing, and social solutions. I'm also the co-founder and co-chair of the Global Unity Network that Lloyd speaks of today, and I'm also co-founder and director of the Unity Learning Network for the purposes of addressing the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals through communication and practical food systems learning. I look forward to forging the journey together with everybody here. Thank you so much. Oh, Lloyd, you're on mute.
So thank you. One more time, I guess. I'm hoping that Jane will be able to introduce herself as well from Kenya, a very important group on the continent that really the Tikatane Ivi Kenya actually was one of the organizations that really got us moving and helped to create the new Unity Network African Diaspora Group through Jane's colleague Samson. I'm not sure is on the line, but if Jane could introduce herself, that would be wonderful. I'm hoping that's going to be possible. Thank you, Jane.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. My name is Jane Joroge, and I am Kenyan. I live in Nairobi, Kenya. And I work with an organization called Tikatane NGO, whereby we have our base or our headquarters in Germany. And we have our African headquarters in Zambia. And in Kenya, I am the vice chairperson. And Reverend Samson Olwoch is the chairperson of Tikatane Kenya. And what we do basically, it is we offer agribusiness and entrepreneurship classes. Right now, because of the pandemic, we are doing the classes online. And our objective is to promote agriculture, meeting the 17 SDGs. And we have the women department all together, targeting the rural woman, because we focus so much on the urban woman, but we forget that the rural woman is the person that is suffering the most, because when it comes to quality education, that is a challenge to them. When it comes to poverty, it is a very big challenge to these women. And considering in Kenya, the statistics, they show that we have very many single women within our country, Kenya. Men are dying, they are dying more prematurely than the women, and the women are left with the children, taking care of them. The divorce rate, the numbers are staggering. So we have basically the women raising the children. So we feel that if we don't empower the woman, then we are not going to have the next generation. We are not going to have the next generational leadership. So for us, when we empower the woman, we are empowering the continent, we are empowering the country, we are empowering the community. So we really are taking it very seriously to see that the woman and the girl child, they are empowered because of our cultural background and our tradition. The woman is not taken as a priority in terms of offering quality education. So with our organization Twikatane, if we focus on that, then we are going to bridge a gap that is so wide within our country and also within Africa, because our target is not only the country we are in, but the entire Africa. And I'm also the Secretary General of UnityNet Africa. And we are somehow connected in so many ways. And I'm glad to be serving here and to be serving in Twikatane and every other space that actually connects us, so that we can make Africa a better continent. Yeah, so basically that is what I do. And I have many other projections, but because of time, I won't talk a lot. And I'll stop there. Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Prince Andrew, for the opportunity. Thank you, Stephanie, and everyone else on board. It is a pleasure to be here. You are mute, Lloyd.
Yeah. Thank you, Jane, once more for all the work that you've been doing in the new chapter of Africa and Diaspora Continental Group. I think that this group is going to be leading the charge, leading the way. As for instance, I mentioned, we'd like to develop the South Asian Network and eventually also the Southeast Asia group, and eventually our North American Turtle Island group as well. But as I mentioned during the opening remarks, we're really focused on those countries, those communities, those places that are being most left behind. You mentioned rural areas. So here in Canada, as an example, those places that are being left behind are the rural areas, the small communities in the north, for instance, the First Nations. This is, of course, Indigenous Global Unity Summit event. So the Indigenous communities here in North America and around the world.
Due to the time constraint, perhaps we could complete our introductions and then get back to commentary.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe I could just ask Othenio. That's who I'm seeing on the screen right now. If you could unmute yourself. Just a quick introduction. If not, so Othenia, if you could unmute. And tell us where you are, what you've been doing. I am trying to ask Othenia to unmute himself, but it's a little button on Zoom, of course. He doesn't seem to have. Othenio, if you're unable to unmute yourself, I'm seeing also Malaika.
Yes, hello?
Oh, hello, Othenio.
Yes, hello? Thank
Yes.
you. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm Otheno Alex. I'm the CEO of Green Future Foundation from Uganda. CEO of Green Future Foundation from Uganda. We do a duty of helping orphans But we do this through planting trees, helping them with school materials. I'm a nurse by professional. Thank you for, I'm so glad for doing this unit platform so that I can help to give a hand.
Well, thank you. If you could put your contact information in the chat, we would
In the
appreciate that so we
community.
can follow up with you. Please put your contact information in
Yes,
the
planting
chat.
trees is one of the activities.
Okay, so thank you very much, Othinio.
Yes.
We'll move.
Hello? You're welcome.
So we did get to that thing. So thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So I'm hoping that you will put your, if you have not already, put your contact information into the chat window, and then we will have there for us to be able to follow up.
You know, I'm using a phone. I'm not using the laptop, so my network is not good here in Uganda. I'm in a bit very far, so my network is on and off. So you forgive me for that. I'm on and off, on and off.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Well, we are grateful for you to be able to try to connect with us on this platform.
Thank you, thank you. But I'm so glad for this.
So I'd actually like to move and also have Malika also introduce herself as well. Thank you, Athenia.
Otieno. Otieno. You can call me Alex.
Okay.
Yeah, hello. Hello, everyone. I think my network is clear. I've unmuted myself. I think
yes,
I'm
we can
clear.
hear you.
Okay, I'm called Malaika Gabriela from Kampala, Uganda. I am the CEO, founder of an organization called JAFOA. It advocates for the elderly, the elder woman. This is 50 years and above. They're the marginalized, the forgotten people, and the orphan children and youth under their care. We've done a lot in Uganda, and we're not only in Uganda, in East Africa as a region. And being the founder, we've done a lot for empowering the woman, that's the older woman, adding on what the government is doing through the SAGE. Hello, can everyone hear me?
Yes, we are hearing you.
Yes, there is some amount that the government gives the older person 80 years and above. That is 25,000 Uganda money. It's less than $100. So what we do at JAFOA, we focus on this older woman with 50 years to 79 years. We empower them economically. Once that older woman is empowered, then the young children who are under their care, they are catered for. My heart is really into children and the women. Once a woman or a child is empowered, then the community is empowered, the country is empowered, then the continent is empowered. And I know we are in this to win and to make our mother Africa and the earth as well a better place to live. Apart from JAFOA, being there for the older persons and the orphan children and the youth under their care, we also do capacity building for the youth. Now, during this COVID-19, the pandemic, a lot has happened. So many girl child, we've gotten so many children under 15 years getting pregnant. So there is a need for the girl child down in Uganda and the vulnerable. Then you add on the refugees as well. So many of them, they are here. So what we do at JAFOA as an organization, we go out there and we advocate, we support, we encourage, and we train them, these children under the care of the older persons. And apart from having a responsibility at JAFOA, I am the Continental Treasurer at UnityNet Africa, by the grace of God. And I believe Africa, we are one. We are meant to work, and I believe we are going to deliver. And apart from working with UnityNet Africa, I'm also the Secretary General at the Capellania Uganda. That's a human rights organization fighting for the rights of the vulnerable, the marginalized in our communities and in our country as well. I'm so happy to be part of AfricaNet and ICID Uganda. I'm very humbled, and I know this is just the beginning. I love asking questions. You'll bear with me. I'll keep on asking and asking until I be a better person to deliver in our community. So to my elders, yeah, I can say my elders, you'll bear with me. I'll keep on asking so that the best can come out of me. Above that, I'm so happy. As I conclude, I'm called Malaika Gabriela, and I'm humble. Thank you so much, Mr. Leod, Mr. Andrew, my Professor Carlos, my Bishop, for this opportunity to share, and Mama Stephanie. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well, and welcome home.
Thank you, Malaika. I've known you only for a very short time, relatively. It's been a wonderful journey so far. We will be expanding and moving forward from this. So I'm just looking at who's still on the call. I'm seeing, for instance, Beatrice Wonga. Who looks like she's unmuted already, but I'm not sure. So I'm not sure she's going to be able to introduce herself. If not, I suppose we could, I see as well, Carlos is on the line. Perhaps he would like to introduce himself because he was just actually elected as the leader of, or co-leader of the Africa Network. If you could, thank you, Carlos.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Good evening. From Sierra Leone. My name is Carlos Richardsenko. As already repeatedly heard my name, I am the CEO for Focus, a national non in Sierra Leone. Focus in promoting charitable packages, promoting climate smart resilient solution programs through agriculture, and we also and young people, and we also promote what we call quality health services for women. It is free quality education alongside with the government of Sierra Leone. We focus on so many things, supporting or empowering young people, women, and exactly the focus and for the organization. And I'm a consultant and networking with several non-governmental organizations in Sierra Leone in terms of compliance system, due diligence activities to ensure that organizations have it right so that they will be able to compete and collaborate with organizations in terms of funding opportunities, both local and international. I am the founder and I am also the co-founder of UnityNet Africa. Yesterday, President of UnityNet Africa. And so I'm also the co-founder of Global Unity Net International. And I am also a member of ICID University, Eco Village, and Global Social Entrepreneurship Partnership Organization based in Washington and now coming in Africa, Sierra Leone, and other countries. So I also work collaboratively with government sectors, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Health, Ministry of Education, Ministry of Environment, to promote our services, to promote our programs, both local and international. So I feel honored and I feel so much passionate to contribute towards what UnityNet Global is having and want to promote and ensure that reaching the ordinary people at community level. I am a community person. I desire supporting people who are disadvantaged, especially children, women, and girls. So I like what UnityNet Global is doing. So that's why I'm part of it. So I implore the services of everybody, my fellow Africans. We have made it yesterday to have our executive that will be working at African region or African level. So please let us know that we have a bigger assignment, a special assignment. Our people, they need us. The children there in the community, they are suffering, they are starving. We have a lot of single parents that are there, women taking care of so many homes. Women are the most farmers. Women are the most business people in Africa. So we have responsibilities to revive, to change the system, to ensure that we ensure equity delivery, to ensure that the women are delivered from the current situation where they are to a hospitable situation where all of us, be you man, be you woman, you are equally service. So therefore, I want to talk to all of us that please let us focus Africa. Let us focus to promote Africa, not ourselves, not your country, but all the countries in Africa. And I like also what is coming up to ensure that we internetwork with other continents to ensure that we exchange, we promote learning opportunities, other opportunities that will support the system of UnityNet in Africa and other parts of the world.
Excellent.
So that,
Excellent.
yes, so that we will be able to support each other. I thank you.
sir.
I thank you for everything that you've done
Thank you,
for UnityNet and
Carlos.
for also assign me as a leader. Thank you.
We welcome you and honor you. Thank you. Back to you, Lloyd.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you, Carlos, very much. I think, who else do we have on the line? Have we heard from Edgar? Or Nancy? I don't think we have heard from Nancy yet.
Actually, Dr. Sura Kumba has been here from the beginning. I'm not sure if he can unmute himself, but whoever's next up, now's the time.
Good evening.
Idella, let Nancy go first, please.
Hey,
Nancy,
everyone.
go. Yes, Nancy, go ahead.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Can I go ahead?
No, please wait for Nancy first. Nancy, please go ahead.
Carlos, if you could unmute yourself or mute yourself. Yes, thank you.
Is it okay now?
It comes
Yes.
and goes. The internet is a little bit shaky.
Yes, Nancy, speak if you can.
Yes. Are you hearing me? Okay. My name is Nancy Mori. I am from Sierra Leone. I am the founder for Each One Save One organization, which is a women-led. We started the campaign during the Ebola outbreak in Sierra Leone to advocate for deprived women that were taken to the holding and treatment centers, and those that were at the quarantine center with used clothing and as well as cooking items because they were deprived of those basic commodities. We have been working extensively in terms of promoting education, women empowerment, entrepreneurship, and as well as advocating for the less privileged in our community, especially when it comes to those women and girls that can't afford some basic health challenges. We have also been partnering with many organizations. I am the regional coordinator for National Election Watch Sierra Leone, and also a member of many civil society organizations in Sierra Leone. I'm also part of the Unity Africa group and the diaspora group. And I'm also learning a lot when it comes to establishing businesses in Africa. When you look at our local communities, women suffer a lot. And I'm sure with the advent of Unity Africa, we'll be able to make a mark. I'm also doing some agricultural planting trees, which at any time Unity Africa wants to plant trees of peace in Sierra Leone. You can contact me so I can give a helping hand. Thank you very much. And I hope to continue my support to Unity Africa. Congratulations. I've been following to what was happening yesterday in the group. May God bless you, and we continue to work as we've started.
Thank you very much, Nancy, for all the work that you've done as well. So many in the group have put in so many hours and days to get us finally moving forward on the continent, and of course you are one of them. Let me see who else is on the line who we have not heard from. I guess Dr. Kumar, as well as Ayodele.
Good evening, everyone. My name is AHIABGA-TV, Isaac, popularly called Bishop. Yeah, many of you may not know why they call me Bishop. I'm a missionary by profession. I am the vice chairperson of Tukatane EV NGO. I wish we focus on the youth education. We focus on the youth education, especially the vulnerable youth. We provide educations, scholarships. We provide especially affordable education support to some of the vulnerable youth in Africa. Thank God that yesterday we are able to break through with the government of Zambia, because our African headquarters is in Zambia, where the government the new government of Zambia enter into MOU with Tukatane to train almost 150,000 youth on entrepreneurship, education at the university level, and also at the basic level of education. And also, we also train youth on agro-business to see how we can also empower some rural youth on agro-business project. And we also support some of the orphanage program in Zambia. And likewise, that is what we are also planning to do in Kenya, because we just got the registration certificate of Kenya very soon, because by the grace of God, I supervise both the Kenya, Zambia, Uganda, Congo for now. And I'm also the country director of Catalonia Human Rights Activists, and also the part of the executive of Africa part of the executive of UnityNet Africa. And at the same time, the co-founder of the UnityNet Africa Uganda chapter. I also privileged to be bring on board to be part of IC University. And also, I also have my own organization, which I am the president. Right now, we have registered as a CBO in part of the Uganda to reach out to the communities, especially in supporting the widows, the orphanage, and also in entrepreneurs. Though we have chapters in Nigeria, in Congo, in Kenya, though because we have not finalized our NGO registration, that's why I don't want to go into that area. But I want to assure you that the reason why some people come to us, especially either to be part of the organization or to work with them in the organization, is because of integrity and transparency. Because yes, as a minister of the gospel, we must lead by example. And we, especially, I keep on saying that you cannot serve God when you cannot serve the people that God created. So serving humanity is about serving God. So our responsibility is not limited to the pulpit or serving from the pulpit alone, but to reach out to the humanities, to the people, to the vulnerable one in the society. And I'm working with it.
Exactly. And we thank you so very much. We all ask everyone to make an opportunity to have a presentation of your organization in our future weekly events. So at this time, though, I would like to know if we have anyone that is on the call that's not introduced themselves, so that we can move towards close. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to mention very quickly, if there's nobody else on the line, that I would like to work with the AHIABGA as well to relaunch the Zambia group, since your organization is headquartered there. we can work with you to reestablish that chapter.
Yes. Yes, we have a very big network in Zambia, especially that are working rightly with the government. Actually, there was it. I told before Francis left, we have someone who is also a co-staff of the same place where Francis is working from. That is the College of Agriculture. It's called Dr. Namope. He's a very
yes, so we will bring them in.
Bring on board.
Perfect. We'll work with our friends in Pakistan as well as here in Canada.
It looks as though Edgar has unmuted himself for an introduction as we move towards close. Yes, Edgar, go ahead.
So 2 minutes.
Hello.
Go ahead, Edgar.
Hello. Greetings to you all. Yeah, greetings to you all. Greetings to you all. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, you're broken up a little bit, but it does work.
Okay, my name is AHIABGA-TV, all the way from Tanzania, East Africa. Okay, what I do first, I'm just a co-founder of a certain organization called Be My Life Center. We basically deal with the charity issues, basically to young children. In fact, I'm also the operation manager of Baby Safaris. So we do these, we do different issues pertaining welcoming tourists to our country, basically visiting most of our national parks, yeah, and game reserves. So those are the activities that I basically do. In fact, I'm also the IT and graphics designer. So I do posters and banners, and all such kind of issues. So, in fact, I'm also a member of UnityNet Africa, and I'm excited, and I wish to know more, and in fact, to extend to my colleagues in Tanzania so that they could also know about UnityNet Africa. So for today, I'll end up there. Thank you all.
Thank you, Edgar. So we are closing in on 2 hours now. So I think we will end the call today and thank everybody. Again, thank Andrew, thank the Edgar Foundation for hosting this. We will be back next week, same time, 11 in the morning, every Thursday with a new guest speaker. We will be featuring more people from the Unity Network global group as we move forward for our implementation plans in the global Unity Network. Thank you all and have a great day.
Thanks everyone for joining. If you like and you're in front of your computer, you can download the chat by clicking the button at the bottom right-hand side. If not, then we'll follow up with you in the WhatsApp group chat. So thank you so very much for joining us and have a fantastic day.
Thank you for
Andrew.
the opportunity. Thank you for the opportunity, Lollard, and thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Andrews. Definitely
Okay.
looking forward to
We will
working with-
follow up as well.
Yeah.
All right, thanks everyone. Have a wonderful day.